Hi ladies, so I'm back, or I'm here today to do the first card for the April club cards. And I said back because I've already videoed number 3, so today right now I'm going to video number 1. So this is the card. It was inspired by Linda Parker, and I'm calling it White Painted Flowers because what you do is you stamp flowers or an image of any kind onto dark cardstock, and then you paint it with Whisper White craft ink and an aqua painter, and it turns it this lovely chalky color, and then you can color it in if you want. I use the dark old olive blends to color the leaves. I didn't want to color any of the flowers because I wanted to leave them white. So this is the video on how to do that. Okay. So you're going to be getting these dimensions anyways. It's a thick Whisper White card base, 8.5 by 5.5, gold foil 5 1/4 by 4, Night of Navy 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, Whisper White 3.5 by 2.5. I'm using Falling Flowers and Birthday Blossom stamp set, the stitched oval die number 3, scallop oval die number 5, some White Perfect accents, and the ink is Versamark, White Craft, Night of Navy, and Marina Mist. All right, here we go. Let's put that down there. Hopefully that will be in the, I can't really see because I have my camera hanging on my new arm. So, first thing we'll do is stamp the Have a Beautiful Birthday. And I'll be doing the birthday part for the ones that I mail out, but I think I'm going to, I don't know how to send this to you guys, because if I do it all, then you're not going to get an idea of how to do it. But if I don't do it and you don't have the white craft inks, then you're kind of sunk and won't be able to do the technique. So I don't know what to do, but we'll see when I get this done. So first thing I'm going to do is stamp Have a Beautiful Birthday on a piece of Whisper White cardstock using Night of Navy. Get that out of the way. And now I'm going to cut it out with the stitched oval die number 3, like that. So hang on, I'll be right back. I'm going over there to use my Big Shot. And you can just imagine some music like do 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 do. I know my singing is the pits, but my grandchildren like it. So there's the sentiment. Throw that away. Now we're going to use this big swirly scrolly thing. So the sentiment is from Birthday Blossom stamp set, and here it is here. And the swirly that I'm going to use now is from Falling Flowers, and we're going to use that flower, this flower, and the leaf image as well. So all I want is this part in Marina Mist ink. So I cut it out first because I will be able to see where to put the scrolly thing. If I didn't cut it out, I wouldn't know where to put the scrolly thing. Well, there's one. And there's 2. Oh, I'm probably not stamping on the screen. So let's just turn this a bit. Get more of my... There we go. Okay, so that's done. And I cut out the the scallop oval number 5. I cut it out of the middle of the piece that's going to go underneath the Night of Navy cardstock, because you're not going to see it anyways. So this just layers onto this. Like this. There we are. Put that to the side. And get out my Night of Navy cardstock. And I'm going to move the card out of the way for a sec, because I'm going to be dealing with stuff. And I don't want to get it all over the place. So we need gold embossing powder. I'm going to get that ready. We need Versamark ink. And I'm going to start with the big flower image. Oh golly, looks like I'm going to have to order a new Versamark pad. This one really has a lot of embossing powder on it. Oh well. It's fun. Alright, so I'm just going to randomly stamp some. I don't know how random it is, because I'm doing it the same way I did the last one. But when you're OCD like me, random doesn't happen very well. Okay, now I'm just going to put some gold embossing powder on it. Probably should have used my embossing buddy first. I got a few little edges on there. Just get rid of those. I need my handy dandy little paintbrush, because apparently I got a little bit in there too. Okay, so that's the first image. Now I think I'll go in with a small flower. We'll try to get some in there. And over there. And one up in here. Like that. And stick a little bit of powder on those ones. Oop. This is a lot easier when I'm not doing it on camera. Okay, so that was the little flower. Now I'm going to do some filling in with the leaf. I want to also keep in mind that I want to be putting some White Perfect accents in here, so I don't want to fill up all the spots. I want to leave some room for them. And one up there. Okay, we'll just get that stuff off the table. A little bit of embossing powder on them. I should have had this all done, because then you guys wouldn't see that my stamping is not perfect when I'm embossing. Hey, now I'm going to go back in with my little paintbrush and just get rid of a few spots that aren't supposed to be there. Oop, there's another one. Okay, now I'm going to get my heat gun. That I should have got down before and I didn't. And close up my embossing powder, because I can't tell you what a mess that makes. Move this out of the way. All right. There it goes. My cord is not long enough to get it close enough to the camera. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. Missed a few spots on that one. There we are. Put the stuff back in here. All right. I have a little bit of embossing powder all over the place. So this is just a Swiffer duster thing. Okay, so now to do this, we need the Craft Whisper White paint. Need an aqua pen and something to put paint on. And it doesn't matter what you use for this. Just put some on your, you can use anything. Okay, paper towel. Because I always like to have paper towel in my hand. Get the pen wet. Add some water to your paint. Just to make it a little bit runny. Then you just paint. And you paint right over top of the embossing powder, because we go back after it's dry and remove the paint off of the embossed parts. It's not difficult. This is actually a really fun technique to do. And you can use any kind of an image with it. And then over the top, use the Stampin' Blends. Now, I'm not sure whether the other markers will work because they are water-based. So I think I'll get, while I'm on here, I think I'll get a scrap piece of cardstock and try those other markers, just so we both know whether they work or not. See, these Facebook Live videos or the YouTube videos, they're just like I'm creating in my craft room, because you get to see all the messes and the mistakes. And then when I'm in the middle of a card, I think, well, what if this would happen? Or I wonder if this would work. So you're getting it live and real. And you can see how these are drying, the first ones I did, and you just have to make sure you let this dry completely before you do anything else with it. And if you're impatient, you don't want to wait for it to dry, you can hit it with a heat gun again and heat it up and it will dry. I wouldn't use it for too long though, because you could reactivate the embossing powder. And then there might be a mucky mess. And you don't have to be too precise with this either. It's kind of nice that you can just kind of slop the color on right over top of the embossing. Apparently this card's going to take a little bit of time to do. There. I'm just going to put it to the side and let it dry. But meanwhile, I'm going to go get a scrap of Night of Navy cardstock, so I can try and see if those other markers work. So I need the Versamark again. Put that out of the way. Stamp a flower and a couple of leaves. Embossing powder. Oh, you should see the mess on my desk. There we go. Okay, I'm just going over to the heat gun. I'll be right back. Get this heated up. There we are. That's that done. Now I'll just put some color on there so it dries. And then we can see how it works with the regular markers. I'm so excited that the Stampin' Blends have come back. I love using them. Unfortunately, they are not orderable right now because they had such a lot of back orders that they turned them off until they get their supply in May. There we go. So I'm going to put that one off to the side to dry too. But I'm going to clean my aqua pen here, get the ink off of it. There we are. Okay, so we'll carry on. I'm going to attach the gold foil to the white card front. I just want to give those flowers a long time to dry. Whoops. Sticking out adhesive, not a good thing. It took me a long time to get to the point where I can do this and leave a hole in the middle, because it really used to drive me nuts. So, okay. So I'm going to do the inside in the envelope now. This is what the inside looks like. I took that flourish that I used on the front and did it on the inside of Marina Mist, and then went around the outside with the Night of Navy marker. So we'll do that again as soon as I find the stamp and the ink. And I think I'll do it just on the side this time. I'm trying to find a piece of scrap paper so I don't get my grid paper all mucky. Okay. there's the inside and the envelope. I love swirlies. They're so fun to use on envelopes and insides. Okay, that out of the way. Now I'm going to take my Night of Navy marker and just go around the outside. I tried using the Stampin' Blends for this, and they don't work as good because they're formulated to sink into the paper, and I don't like how it invades in. But if you like that invading in look, then you'll be happy with the Stampin' Blends around the outside of your piece. Good thing is there's never any right or wrong answer to this. Just kind of go with what you think you like. All right, there's the inside. There's the envelope. Let's see. Let's see what's going on with this. Paper towel. Oops. Apparently that's still wet. So when it dries, you just go over the top. I'm going to use this Swiffer because it doesn't shred. And it just takes the white off of the gold embossing so that you have a lovely little image left there. There we go. Now, I'm not going to do those ones because they're not dry yet. But that's okay because I can do them after I get the card put together. So now, I'm going to take the Stampin' Blends, the dark Old Olive Stampin' Blends, and just put some color on the leaves. Now you don't have to. You can leave yours just the way it is. Or you can do the flowers. Just keep in mind that light colors are not going to work on this because there is still dark cardstock back there. So you have to use the dark, vibrant colors in order to get any kind of a color at all on it. I don't think... Probably shouldn't have done that one because I think it's still wet, but oh well. That's life. Right. Let's see if I can get this one to work. There we go. It doesn't take too much rubbing to get that stuff off of the embossing. When you're doing this, just be careful you don't go over top of the embossing a lot because it does dull the embossing a little bit. I've got a mess there, but that's life. Okay, so that's how you do it. And this one's not dry yet, so I'm going to put the card together and then I'll go back and we'll play with that other one that's not dry yet. So I'm just going to put the card front onto the gold foil. Just like that. Then I have 5 White Perfect accents, and I'm going to stick them onto the card. Now when you're taking these off of the plastic, be really careful because there is a white piece of paper or something underneath them that keeps it looking white, and if it comes off then you can't really get it back on. You have to use a little dot of glue or something. Little dot of Tombow to get it on there again. Oh well. There we go. So now my sentiment. Get some dimensionals. Oh Lord, I love these mini dimensionals. So I'm recording this on Good Friday. So, happy Easter to everyone. I hope you have a beautiful day, a lovely Easter weekend. There we go. So there's the card. That's all it is. So let's go to this one. And we'll see what happens with the regular markers. Okay, so I'll get the old olive and the always artichoke and something really bright like melon mambo. Oh, that's rose red. That won't work. Let's see what melon mambo does. Okay, so these are the regular Stampin' Write markers and they're water-based. So let's see if they work. These ones you don't have to worry about going over top of the embossing lines. And this is the always artichoke. Well, apparently that marker's no good anymore. That was ugly. Okay. So apparently they do work. Neat. Okay, so I'm just going to let that dry for a bit. And this is melon mambo. And I just want to show you what the flowers look like when they have been colored. As you can see, you really need to have a bright color, because as it dries it kind of fades a little bit. I hope I have this on camera in the screen area. Maybe some Daffodil Delight for the flower center. There we are. Now, I'm just going to rub. So a little bit comes off. So a little bit is coming off, but I don't think it's all going to come off. I think you still have to let it dry a bit, because of course we haven't done it so long ago. So that's the difference between this is using the regular Stampin' Write markers and this one uses the Stampin' Blends, and they both work. And I didn't know that. So we've had an experiment together. Is that cool? Okay. So I'm off now. I'm going to record the second one and upload these so I can get these cards off in the mail. And I still have to think about what I'm going to do with this card. I might do the stamping and put the white paint on and then let you guys color them at home. Or maybe I will email you and see if you have the Whisper White ink. Anyways, thanks for joining me, and I'll be back soon with video number 2. Thanks, ladies. Bye.